Anton Chekov is one of the prominent names in English literature, a Russian short story writer and playwright. And in class 10th textbook First Flight, we have a play, The Proposal, written by Anton Chekov. Let us have a glance at the certain question answers based on The Proposal, written by Anton Chekov. The Proposal is in fact a one-act play written by Anton Chekov. It is a farce. Now what is a farce? Farce means a humorous play with unlikely situations. That means the play which has got a lot of improbabilities is called farce, and one of the important features of farce is the use of humor and comic situations. Now what is proposal? Dear students, proposal means an offer or a suggestion or a certain plan. It also means to ask someone's hand in marriage, and hence in this context, this proposal, yes, you are absolutely right, this is a marriage proposal. Now let us have a glance at the main characters of the play, The Proposal. Of course, as the play is written by Russian short story writer Anton Chekov, the setting of the play is in Russia, and that is why the names are Russian names. The first important character is Stepan Chukov. He is a landowner. Then second important character is Natalia. She is daughter of Stepan Chukov. She is 25 years old. And last but not least, Ivan Lomov, who is the neighbor of Chukov, is the third important character of this play. Now, Ivan Lomov visits Chukov's home to propose Natalia. But somehow, initially, he could not dare to say to Chukov that he had been there to propose his daughter. Now, there is one commonality in all the three characters of the play Proposal, and that common feature which is found in all the three characters, that all three of them are quarrelsome. They had only one passion, and that passion was not mountaineering, not for doing some sort of adventure, but their passion was to quarrel all the time. That means they did not want a valid reason to quarrel at any moment. They were ready to quarrel. Now, when Lomov met Natalia, he absolutely forgot that he had been there to propose the young beautiful lady, and he started quarreling with Natalia, and the entertainment begins. Now, what makes The Proposal a comical farce? There may be a question in CBSE that lists out certain elements that make The Proposal a comical farce, a humorous play. So we are going to see one by one which are the features of the play that make this play a humorous one. Number one, the quarrelsome characters. All the three characters, an old man, Stepan Chukov, his beautiful daughter, Natalia, and the to-be son-in-law, Ivan Lomov, all three of them are highly quarrelsome. Then the second important factor that makes this play quite humorous is the kind of language which is used by three of them when they quarrel with each other. The characteristics of Ivan Lomov are also very funny. Though he is a young man, he complains of his poor health as if he is a senior citizen, as if he is an old guy. So his way of complaining about the multiple problems of his health also entertains us. Then Natalia's hysterical behavior. When she comes to know that she loves Ivan, then she goes hysteric. She doesn't have her control over her behavior, and that also entertains the audience a lot, and that makes this play quite humorous one. Then there are certain situations and scenes, and this all leads to subtle humor, but there is no doubt the credit for such a classic creation, of course, goes to the playwright Anton Chekov. But what about the proposal? Naturally, the proposal was in great danger because Ivan Lomo actually had been to Chukko's home to propose Natalia, but as he was quite passionate, he started quarreling with the young beautiful lady, and then he forgot that he had been there to propose her, and due to serious quarrel, there was heat of excitement and the tense situation. Due to that, the marriage proposal was in danger. Now there is always a question in CBSE that mention the two reasons which were crucial for the beginning of the disagreement or dispute or quarrel between Lomo and Natalia. So the first reason was the claim for oxen meadows. Now what is an oxen meadows? It was a piece of land, and both Lomo and Natalia claim that they are the owners. Natalia says that she is the owner of Oxen Meadows, whereas Lomo disagrees with that and he says that no, I am the owner of Oxen Meadows, and the quarrel begins. And the second reason was, whose dog is better? Lomo says that my dog Gaze is the best dog, whereas Natalia says that her dog Squeezer was much better than Gaze, and the quarreling began, and it entertains the audience like anything. So when the marriage proposal was in great danger, it was a good economic sense, and Chukko's efforts made the proposal quite successful. Now, Anton Chekov indirectly wants to say that normally in the society the marriage takes place where there is equal financial status. And it was the financial need, it was the financial requirement, and it was the wise financial sense that made this marriage proposal successful in spite of the serious quarreling between the young couple, between Natalia and Lomo. It was Chukko's role that he intervenes and he makes the two young boy and girl understand that they should stop quarreling, and she should say yes as he had been there to propose her. Now look at the language. As I said, when they are praising each other and when they are cursing each other, they have the extreme limits. For example, when they praise each other, they are using the words like, oh my darling, honored Stepanich, may God give you his help and love and blah blah blah. So there is height of exaggeration of praising. But when they quarrel, when they curse, they equally hate each other and they use the extreme harsh language for each other. For example, I have quoted here a few sentences. Chukko says to Lomo, your aunt ran with an architect, and then Lomo tells his to-be father-in-law that your mother was a hump-backed lady. Don't you think that this is quite funny and entertaining? Then Chukko says that your father was a guzzling gambler. Now what is the meaning of guzzling? Guzzling means quite greedy. And he even uses the words like rascal, villain, scarecrow, blind hen, turnip ghost and wizen-faced from. Look at the language. All unparliamentary words are used both by Chukko, Lomo and Natalia. And even Lomo calls his to-be father-in-law that he was the old rat. So this is quite entertaining, and that is why this play is humorous one. Now when Natalia came to know that Lomo had been there to propose her again, she suddenly and loudly declares that she is in love with Ivan Lomo, and she goes hysteric. She doesn't have any control over her emotional as well as physical behavior, and she starts screaming and yelling, and she tells her father, fetch him, I'm in love with Ivan, and this is really all entertaining. And finally, the proposal was made successful because of the good economic sense. There is always a short answer question, dear students, that when the proposal was in great danger, how the proposal finally was made successful. So the credit for making the proposal successful goes to Chekov and his wise economic sense. The good economic sense played the key factor, important role to save proposal which was in danger. Chekov realized and intervened, and he stops Ivan and Natalia from quarreling, and the play ends on a happy note. So, through this play, Anton Chekov, such a great short story writer and playwright, he ridicules, he criticizes the hypocrisy and immature human behavior. Many times we human beings behave in an immature way and we go hysteric. So this is indirectly a satire, this is indirectly a criticism on the human behavior when it is not matured behavior. Then Anton Chekov also highlights the drawbacks of the rich, greedy society. And he also indirectly tells us how the financial equal status matters a lot. How the money can bring the two families together because of the good economic sense. And the playwright Anton Chekov also indirectly tells us that how the quarreling has got its own consequences, how it makes the situation quite tense, and when you are angry, how it can affect badly on your health. So the situations and characters create subtle humor in this play, but I must say, dear students, that Anton Chekov has undoubtedly fulfilled all the characteristics of a perfect farce. Finally, I would say that Anton Chekov, a Russian playwright and short story writer, is considered to be among the greatest writers of the short fiction in the history, and short stories and plays of Anton Chekov are all-time classic. Hats off to Anton Chekov.